Hello everyone, my name is Anita Okafor and you're welcome to the All Gospel Media Show. On today's episode, we'll be talking about books. Yes, we'll be talking about some wonderful books you should have in your collection or books that you should be reading. And particularly, we'll be talking about Christian fictions. I hope someone is excited because I'm here to present to you my top 5 Christian fictions of all time. The first book I'm going to talk about on my top 5 books is the book This Present Darkness by Frank Perreti. This book was originally published in 1986, and if you know Frank Perreti or if you've ever heard about him, you should know that he's the father of what we call supernatural thrillers. And what are supernatural thrillers? They have to do with books that talks about spiritual warfare, the battle between good and evil. And This Present Darkness is such a beautiful, wonderful, prophetic book, if I may say. I think after reading the book, you realize that some of the things happening in our world today were already foretold by this man of God in 1986. It's a very lovely book, and if you've not read it, please go get the book and read it. The next book I'm going to talk about on my list is the book Redeeming Love by Francine. I know. Many of us have read the book because the book is very popular. It was published in 1991, and it's Francine, she has been dubbed as the Christian historical romance writer. And that's because her books are so beautiful. They talk about, the love of God, talk about relationships, marriages, and they are very, very nice to read. And this particular book called Redeeming Love is centered around or is inspired by the story of Hosea and Gomer in the Bible. Remember that story? So it's a book that talks about forgiveness, redemption, deliverance, and a change and a turnaround and repentance and everything that the book of Hosea tried to show us about the love of God. It's a very lovely book, and I would really recommend that everyone should go get it and read it today. Okay, the next book I'm going to talk about is actually in the series called The Mark of the Lion series. So I'm not giving you one book, I'm actually giving you 3 books, because there's book 1 titled A Voice in the Wind, book 2 An Echo in the Darkness, and book 3 As Sure as the Dawn. All of these books were written in 1993, 1994, and 1995 by Francine. And I don't want to spoil the book so that everyone can go read up on them and know what they're talking about, but it's such a beautiful historical drama. I think it was set in ancient Rome, if I'm not wrong, and it's such a wonderful tale of redemption as usual, because Francine always likes to talk about redemption and deliverance, and it's also a pointer to the love of God and what he can do and change a person's life and identity. This book is going to make you pray, it's going to make you laugh, it's going to make you just love the Lord. And so I highly recommend the 3 books in the Mark of the Lion series, and I think you should go get them today. At number 4, it's the series of books in the Left Behind series by Tim LaHaye. So there are 16 volumes in the Left Behind series, and this was 1995. That was when it was published. I may be wrong right now, but Tim LaHaye gave us 16 books in the Left Behind series, and I especially like this set of books because I read them when I was 10 years, 11 years, and they were just mind-blowing. I couldn't, for the life of me, imagine that there could be Christian fiction that could look so nice and so interesting. And I think teenagers especially should read this book because it was really written for that category of people. So parents, you can get these books for your children, for your teenagers, even young adults too can read this book. It makes you realize that, there's something called the second coming of Christ, right? And there's going to be the great tribulation. It's a very serious topic, but I love how it was, it was written. It makes you understand what the book of Revelations is talking about. In fact, it will drive you to go and read the book of Revelations for yourself. So this is a very special book to me, and I think every one of you watching me right now should go get the book. The last book I'll be talking about today is The Apothecary's Daughter by Julie Klassen. This was released in 2008 and it's such a beautiful story. It was set in London, right? And I don't want to go deep into it, but it's a story of rediscovery, a story that makes you realize what are the important things and how you should major in the majors and not, in the minors. It's a story of friendship, it's a story of love, and I think every lady should read The Apothecary's Daughter just so that you can have an idea of what it means to be different in a society or in a place, and how you should channel that different traits of yours into something worthwhile. I really enjoyed the book and I recommend it for everyone. So go get it wherever you buy books, from the bookstores and from Amazon also, where you can purchase these books. And there you have it, folks. Those are my top Christian fiction I'll be talking about today, or I spoke about today, and I just want every one of you to share this video with your friends, your loved ones. And I also have a question. Do you have any other books that I didn't talk about, or are there books on this list that really touched you, that you've read, that you just want to share? Please do. I'll be in the comment section to read and to respond. And before we go, let's just say a quick word of prayer from Psalms 91 verse 1. It says, I dwell in the secret place of the Most High. I abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I say of the Lord, is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in him will I trust. Until I come your way next time, see you in my next video.